Hello everyone, welcome to Dream Big. In today's lecture of SAP Material Management, we shall talk about invoices. By the end of this lecture, you shall understand what is an invoice, how to create an invoice document, and how to post an invoice. So without wasting much time, let's begin. What do you mean by invoices? The document which is created by the supplier to charge a customer for goods that the supplier provides to the customer is called as invoice. In other words, when you receive goods and services from the vendor will make an invoicing document to charge you for the goods and services that he has provided to you. Now, as we all know, the procurement process begins with the creation of purchase order and the goods receipt, and finally the creation of invoicing document. The transaction code for the invoicing document is MIRO. Please note, once you create the invoicing document, it means the procurement process is complete. Now let's talk about logistic invoice verification. Logistic invoice verification, or LIV, is a part of material management. It has various functions like it enters the invoices and credit memos. It checks the invoices and credit memos. It does a payment check, that is, it confirms that you have been charged with the right price for the right material or service and for the right quantity. You might be wondering what happens when you post an invoice. When you post an invoice, the data from the invoices are saved into the system. Accounting document is generated. Invoicing document is generated, and the data is updated in the material management. Like the saved data from the invoice document will be updated, for example, purchase order history, and also the financial accounting document is also updated. Please note, when you enter an invoice with reference to the purchase order, the system proposes data from the purchase order and the goods received for the purchase order. For example, material quantity to be invoiced and expected amount per item. Also note that the functions of logistic invoice verification does not include the payment or evaluation of open liabilities. The relevant information for payment and evaluation of open liabilities is forwarded to other applications. LIV creates a link between material management and external or internal accounting. Now let's get a hands-on experience. Let's create an invoice in the SAP logon. First I enter my username, then I enter my password, and then I hit enter. Now I have to create an invoice, so the transaction code for creation of invoice is MIRO. I enter it. This is the screen to create an invoice. Now I shall create an invoice for the purchase order which I have already created before. First I will enter the invoice date. I will enter the purchase order number here and then I hit enter. I shall adjust the taxes. Now this is the balance amount. I will balance it here so that it becomes 0. I hit enter. As you can see, this amount has become 0 because I have balanced it here. I shall click on calculate tax. Now I shall check if all the details are entered correctly. Let's see if the invoice document will be created. Note this message here. This means the invoicing document has been successfully created. You may note this number for your reference. I shall note this number here. Now, by the end of this lecture, you understood what is an invoice, how to create and post an invoicing document, and also what do you mean by logistic invoice verification. This was the end of the first chapter of the first part of material management, that is procurement. Stay connected for more. Thank you.